Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I want to begin by just saying to my colleagues, thank you. Thank you for restoring this bill essentially back to what it was. And I never came to this. I never came to this debate with political motivation. I didn't come to this debate 2 weeks ago or a month ago, but several years of working with people in this building, in both houses, to protect our young people, to fight back against sex trafficking, against the Johns, and ensure that there is justice. I was there when we had to fight to pass SB 14. You heard me on this floor last year on the fight over SB 1414. And here again. So this is not a new thing for me, and it has always been for me about good policy and about justice and doing the right thing. And that is what I saw from the beginning from my colleague from Sacramento when she brought this bill forward. And I wanted to be standing with her as I stand with the senator from Bakersfield, who's been at the forefront of a lot of these issues. So I'm glad that today I think we can come together and we can push through this bill that was a righteous bill from the very beginning to protect 16 and 17-year-olds and ensure there's justice, and also to right, has been pointed out, another wrong, that we also need to have law enforcement be able to step in on solicitation. And the reason why, and my colleague said it very well a couple of weeks ago, is that there is no such thing as a child prostitute. That is so true. When you see and when you've heard from these victims, long before they ended up on the street, they had something stolen from them. They were robbed of the innocence of childhood. There was abuse, there was manipulation, there's a lot of things that broke them long before they ended up on that street. Nobody, no child chooses to prostitute themselves out on the street. They were put there by abuse. And a lot of this is really focused on, as much as maybe sometimes we don't always like to see it because it's really ugly, there's a very sinister and predatory group of folks out there. And it's evil that have led them to that point, and then we're trying to, when they're at that point on the street or online, they're about to be abused again. And that's where our law has to step in. It has to give our law enforcement the tools to go after these predatory actors, and they're on many different fronts. But one of them is the Johns, and that's why this is so necessary. So I'm thankful today that we're doing this for those young people, and that we're changing our law to make sure that that's so. It is the duty of the legislature to pass just laws. That's what we look up to every day. This is one of them. So I hope we'll all vote in favor of this bill today. Thank you.